Hi everybody, my name is Brianna Thomas and I'm going to discuss phenomenological research as well as ethnography, and both of these terms are going to be based off of the Cresswell text titled Research Design. So really quick, the phenomenological approach and ethnography are both parts of the qualitative research approach. So I just put this visual here to kind of show that they're both parts of that approach and not something different, because I know that in the beginning of the text we went over how there's quantitative and then there's qualitative and then there's mixed methods. So both of these terms that I'm going over both fall under the qualitative approach. And then to just provide some insight on what the qualitative approach entails, it's an approach for exploring and understanding the meaning that individuals or groups ascribe to a social or human problem. The data is typically gathered in the participant's setting. Interpretations are made inductively. Individual meanings render importance to the complexity of a situation. And there's a broader sense of understanding. There's no one right answer, rather more of a recognition of patterns. So when it comes to phenomenological research, this is a design of inquiry coming from philosophy and psychology, in which the researcher describes the lived experiences of individuals about a phenomenon as described by participants. This description culminates in the essence of the experience for several individuals who have all experienced the phenomenon. This design has strong philosophical underpinnings and typically involves conducting interviews. When it comes to ethnography, this is a design of inquiry coming from anthropology and sociology, in which the researcher studies the shared patterns of behavior, language, and actions of an intact cultural group in a natural setting over a prolonged period of time. Data collection often involves observation and interviews. I created this example of a grief support group just because it helped me understand the two designs here, while using the same kind of idea of a grief support group. So if we were to study the participants of a grief support group through the phenomenological research approach, we would see that individuals are interviewed, individually about their experiences in the support group. These interviews would allow the research team to develop and understand patterns and perspectives that are shared from those individuals to the researchers. So all of the findings are based off of the information that the participants are sharing with the research team. If we look at the same example through an ethnography perspective, we would see a researcher infiltrate a grief support group in order to observe and analyze the group members' behavior. The research team would develop patterns and see relationships between the behaviors that are not necessarily relayed to the researchers, but they're observed by the researchers. The goal in each of these designs is to understand. Both approaches typically involve interviewing participants, which is common in qualitative research. Phenomenological research and ethnography base their findings on the perspective and behavior of the participants. In one approach, that information is relayed to the researcher, and in the other approach, that information is observed. This information helps researchers understand the existing patterns within certain phenomena and groups. Understanding these patterns provide insight to the communicative dynamics between humans that share certain similarities. For more information about these two concepts, they are on page 14 of the Cresswell text. Thank you guys.